Today we are playing this zero rare black-white humans deck built around two key uncommons. First is Hero of the Dunes, a 5-mana 3/2 that gives all of our creatures with mana value 3 or less +1/+0, but it also returns a creature with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. The second key uncommon is Coppercoat Vanguard, a 2-mana 2/2 that gives our other humans +1/+0 and Ward 1. So of course, every other card in the deck is a human with mana value 3 or less, like Recruitment Officer, Ambitious Farmhand, Cathar Commando, Vengeful Strangler, and Nightclubber. We're also playing some cheap interaction, like Cut Down, Go for the Throat, and Ossification. The deck wants to beat down, but has a surprising amount of gas thanks to Hero of the Dunes, Phyrexian Missionary, and Recruitment Officer. Stick around to the end for a quick overview of some key cards you could use to easily upgrade the deck. Now, let's jump into game number 1. This looks like a nice opening hand to me. We'll keep 7. Start on black, in case our opponent has an early threat. Scratch that. We're going to play Recruitment Officer first. And turn 2. Interesting choice. Vanguard gets countered, but we're okay with that if they have counter spells. It comes back with Hero of the Dunes, comes back with Phyrexian Missionary. For a low to the ground aggro deck, this deck actually does have some gas, which is nice. Alright, so here we're going to pass, flash in Commando on their turn. Take our hit. Sure. Let's flash this in. Hopefully we resolve here. Okay, excellent. Let's hit for 5. Hopefully they go for some really greedy play and try to untap their bloated Contaminator. If they have shore up. Okay, we get a counter and they draw a card. Okay, so I'm just going to kill this now. Unfortunately, Arena Stops kind of let me cheat a little bit there because I knew they didn't have an instant. Because normally this deck they're playing will have ways to protect a creature like that for 1 blue or 1 green. Prologue, trying to poison us out here. We're in a pretty good position to race. We'd really love to draw lands, honestly, more than anything. Debating playing their Venerated Rot Priest, I'm assuming. Playing around our Cut Down. Okay, so we're going to go Missionary. Bring back our Vanguard. Hit them for 5, down to 8. We are at 4 counters, though, and this deck can drop poison counters like crazy once they get going. Hopefully they feel like they're in a position where they need to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we drop... Vanguard's better, I think. It's going to force them to block. And if they go for a trick in response to the block, we can cut down. Tyvar stand. Excellent. GG. That was a good one. This looks nice. Definitely keeping this. And we're on the play, which is always great when you're playing a deck like this. So we're going to go for Recruitment Officer first. Turn to Vanguard. If they don't have instant speed removal, we just get in. No problem. Hit them for 2. Copters you control have haste. This is probably their engine card, right? I don't really know, honestly. But I'm going to assume that this card is really important to their deck and just attack for 2. Then next turn we can double spell. Okay, this thing cannot block. That can. Do we attack with the Recruitment Officer? Okay, we have lots of ways to get creatures back. They're probably trying to aggro us out, so I'm going to go for it. Yeah, this is fine. And then we'll go like this. With a block on their 2-power creatures, we'll get back Vanguard. If they don't have removal for the Missionary, I think this puts us in a pretty good position. Okay, they missed the land. Excellent. So now we can go Vanguard, hit for 3 because they can't block. And now this taxes them quite a bit. And now we're gaining life, and we're going to flash in the Commando on their end step so they don't know about it. Okay, Lightning Strike. And paying the ward. Okay. Happy to take 4 here. I think we're in a position to race. And, oh my god, what a draw. Get to go for, let's do the Missionary for the lifelink. Hit for 8. Good game. That was a nice curve. Yeah, I mean, we're missing black, but this isn't a hand you mulligan. Okay, opponent mulligan twice. We'll drop the Knight first. Okay, Monastery Swift Spear. So let's go ahead and drop the Knight. We won't block on this first turn. We're not going to play into their prowess. Okay, here. Go ahead and play our tap land. They might have... Yeah, if they have the, like a play with fire right now. Okay, they don't have any instants. It seemed like they didn't have any instants. Maybe they just drew that one. And now, okay, we have a double spell here. Do we Ossification the Swift Spear? I think so. We're not doing anything else with the mana this turn. And we have an attack if they play a slightly bigger creature. Alright, our opponent's stuck on 2, getting a little bit unlucky. We're going to start to put the beat down on him now. Let's jam. They had a block on the Strangler if they wanted to. No block, not too concerned about whatever this is. Yep. Can you kill me? I mean, that would be so cool. Wow. Putting out a lot of damage, not quite. That was scary for a second. So let's talk about upgrades for this deck. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, is a powerful 2-drop human that slots nicely into the deck, while making it harder for your opponent to cast removal on your stuff. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar, is an easy 4-of as well. Her tokens get pumped by Coppercoat Vanguard and Hero of the Dunes. And the nice thing about these 2 rares is they are also 4-ofs in the Explorer version of Mono White Humans. Over time, I would look to transition this deck to Mono White to make the mana a little more reliable and continue to add more powerful creatures like Hopeful Initiate, Skrelv, and Brutal Cathar. I've included links in the description to example deck lists for both Standard and Explorer, and if you made it this far, don't forget to drop a like and consider subscribing for future budget decks just like this one. We'll see you next time.